Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, we are from the third presenter with New Historicism subject, and we want to present our presentation about New Historicism with the members Muhammad Syahril Akbar, Firda Aulia, Kamaluddin, and Muhammad Nibra Saputra. So there are 3 points that we want to discuss. The first is definition, key concept, and typical research question. And we want to analyze one journal about New Historicism too. Next. Okay, the first is the definition of New Historicism. So, New Historicism is literary criticism that focuses on the writer's historical, social, and cultural environment at the time the work was created, and as seen through the author's time, place, and historical circumstances. And furthermore, these literary critics believe that in order to assess a literary text, a literary critic must first grasp the author's background or historical background and address of New Historicism think that each literary text, themes, and characterization emerge as the result of the social conditions of the moment. And additionally, literary creations are the outcome of human labor and history. And the next will be presented by Kamal.
The key concept. There are 4 concepts that New Historicism consists of. First one, New Historicism, whereas historicists prioritize the immutable and unchangeable notion of historical facts. Second, the issues with which new historicists are most concerned about are the role of historical context in interpreting literary texts and the role in mediating history. Third, in the new historicism, there is no truth because history cannot be seen since history is in the past. Fourth, new historicism is focused on society issues, including sexual issue, freedom of life, social deviation, dismantling patriarchal culture, spirituality, and humanism. There are also typical research questions on the new historicism. First one, what language, characters, or events in the work represent contemporary events during the author's lifetime? Second, is there anything in the text that has changed its meaning since it was written? Third, what are the ways narrated and presented? Fourth, how does the author's culture influence how events are interpreted and presented? Fifth, is the presentation of the work supportive or critical of the events? These questions that I have mentioned, we will be answering it in the presentation tomorrow in the class. And the next will be presented by Shahril.
Okay, the next is an analysis of example of the new historicism theory. All we do is pick one of the journal as our example of the analysis of this theory. The journal is entitled The New Historicism Critical Analysis of Modern Indonesian Novel in the Structure of Literary History. The representation of behavior and sexual orientation is so diverse and claims that the stereotype of woman is passive, illustrates that inside women are still burdened the existence of values and social construction. For example, woman must be virgins. That's why he has to take care of himself fine. So this method that for the example woman must be virgin is the method in Indonesian culture. So the next is social literary industry has been carrying out its function as a mediator between the publisher and the community readers in the form of distribution or marketing. Next. The problems that we found in this research that include the first, how thematic issues that we express based on the application of new historicism in Indonesian literature. The second is how the new history methodology can answer the problems of social, culture, and industrial change publishing. And the final, how the concept, thesis, or findings that can be raised and make a contribution to history Indonesian literature. From the point of new historicism, Greenblatt has explained that new historicism is a study related to literary texts and history. It means that if new historicism opens up new dimension where actually literary text is analyzed through the historical circumstances of its original production as well as consumption. It analyzes the relationship between that time and our own. It means that the relationship that analyzed with new historicism method is compare that in the past and in this present. In this present, I mean, not interest literary text. Okay, and the next material about the analysis of the journal
Okay, for the example, first, old putri and new putri. What is emphasized from what is the history of how the process of forming a new putri from old putri. And referring to the time, examples of old putri dominate romantic putri because at that time there were more trends and lots of them are issue of sexuality, freedom of life, sexual deviation, dismantling patriarchal culture, spirituality, and humanism. Second, application of the new historicism method and a novel entitled Lightly by Dewi Lestari was published, in which the issue became the main theme can be noticed through plot jam and jam even confirm the concept of continuity and union of chronicle literature and short stories into a series novel fiction. Thus, it shows that the novel is an autobiographical imitation human experience with which gets creative interpretation. In addition, the use of a backlight plot as well as vulgar disclosed style, rich fantasy, the use of stylization combined with nature, as well as disclosed science, philosophy, and health. Uh, okay, that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening our presentation, and I would like to apologize if there is a mistake, and I hope what we share would be beneficial for all of us. And see you tomorrow. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.